Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 3, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and more. So without much further ado, and without any more jibber jabber, let's just get straight into it. We're going to begin with Kenobi and an exclusive from Entertainment Weekly as Hayden Christensen reacts to putting on the Darth Vader suit once again. Now before we get into the article, it's worth mentioning that in 2005, when Hayden last portrayed Anakin for Revenge of the Sith, George Lucas did not intend to use Hayden in the Vader suit at the end of the film. George believed that because Hayden was shorter than David Prowse, who originally wore the suit in the original trilogy, he wouldn't be a good fit. But Hayden was adamant and begged George, and eventually he agreed. So they made a custom Vader suit to fit Hayden's stature, and it looked incredible, even blowing George away. We see all of this in the behind the scenes for Revenge of the Sith, and it's really awesome that Hayden was able to portray Anakin and then subsequently Darth Vader in the film. Just mentally, it gives a really satisfying sense of continuity, and as an actor, Hayden was able to portray the before and after of this character. And thank the stars, Deborah Chow brought him back for the Kenobi series. But in a new interview with Entertainment Weekly, 17 years after Hayden last put on the suit, he spoke about what it was like to be in character for the Kenobi series. Let's take a look at what it says. While fans have been losing their collective geek mind over the return of Ewan McGregor in the upcoming Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi, to quote Yoda himself, "There is another, he's back, and not just back, but back in black." Hayden Christensen is also returning to the Star Wars franchise, and arguably the most iconic character in the history of pop culture, donning the armor once again to play Darth Vader. It has been 17 years since Christensen last went under the mask, and the deal has finally been sealed when Kenobi director Deborah Chow visited Christensen's farm up in Canada to tell the actor what they had planned for Vader's big return. It was really nice because we sort of met up in Canada, Chow says, and obviously with people like Ewan and Hayden, they've been these characters for so long, and they obviously did them in the prequels, and they've lived with this character in their lives for so long that they just know the character so well, which makes it so helpful in terms of the creative. And then they ask Hayden what was it like to put the infamous outfit back on, and this is what he says. Without getting into too much detail, it was amazing. It's a great honor to get to put that suit on. While it had been close to 2 decades since he last played the Fallen Jedi, Christensen says his previous familiarity with the character from Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith made his return both thrilling and comfortable. It was mostly a lot of excitement because I'd spent enough time with this character and felt like I knew him, and coming back to it felt very natural in a lot of ways, and I was just really excited to get to come in and play Darth Vader at this point in the timeline, because it did feel like a natural continuation of your journey with the character, and that was very meaningful for me. And of course the actor also recognizes that 17-year breaks are not exactly the norm when it comes to playing the same character. He says the whole experience was very surreal. Just the nature of coming back after all this time, it's such a unique opportunity, one that both Ewan and I are very grateful for. He then goes on to praise the passion of the franchise and the fans, but the final thing he mentions that's truly heartwarming, I can tell you the first time that I saw Ewan as Obi-Wan again, that was a very special moment for me, and one that I'll remember for a very, very long time. And as I've mentioned, I'm going to cry like a baby when I see Ewan and Hayden together again. Just like many fans who grew up with the prequels, this is the one show that means the most to us. And with all of these interviews, especially with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, you really hear the passion in their words. This giddy excitement to reprise these roles because they know they mean so much to fans. And the kids who grew up watching them in the early 2000s are now all grown up, and to us, that was our Star Wars. And they know that. Ewan McGregor even addressed it himself. I really can't wait. 55 days to go. And so now, my dear Mandalorians, let's move on and talk about The Mandalorian Season 3. A couple of days ago on my channel, I covered the fact that The Mandalorian's 3rd season has officially wrapped filming, and Carl Weathers himself has even confirmed it. It was excellent news, and a few folks who worked on the show shared their excitement on social media. One such person was Amanda Ramirez, and she shared some crew leaks and also teased that The Mandalorian is going to get a 4th season. This is not too surprising, but great to hear nonetheless. We spoke about her post, but she also mentioned, quote, that she can't wait for the next one, and this has many outlets speculating that this means a 4th season. Now, she could just mean the next project, which is Ahsoka, that begins filming next month, but it could be a reference to Mando. In either case, I do think we're going to get season 4 and even 5. There were worries last year after rumours circulated that season 3 would be the last season of this version of the show as we know it. But come on, let's be real. Given how profitable and popular the series is, it was never going to end at season 3. And to add to this, Bernard Bullen, who played the father of Din Djarin in season 1, stated in an interview that he was told when he first joined that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau planned 5 seasons at least. So not to worry, my dear friends, the Mandalorian story is going to continue for the foreseeable future in the current format. Eventually, of course, we will see more spin-offs, not just the Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka, but others as well. But Mando and Grogu in particular are cash cows for Disney, and they're not going anywhere. If anything, a new show will emerge once The Mandalorian is eventually over to continue the plot. It'll be called something else, I'm sure, but the same core of the series is going to remain. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Season 3 isn't even out yet. But to dispel any rumours that The Mandalorian Season 3 is going to be the final season, it's not. Some of these crew gifts are really awesome. The Mandalorian Season 3 is set to wow us again. As I reiterated, we don't know when it's going to come out, hopefully at the end of this year, but it could be early 2023. But in either case, the stakes are raised. We're going to go to Mandalore and many other planets too, some new ones we haven't even heard of yet as per the set leaks. And no doubt we'll see some familiar ones too, notably Navarro. I really miss The Mandalorian, even though we just had the Book of Boba Fett. Seasons 1 and 2 bring me great comfort, so I can't wait for season 3. And so finally, my dear friends, an update for Star Wars Eclipse by Quantic Dream. So far, things have been a nightmare for the studio, to the point where now NetEase is buying them. Quantic Dream has really been undergoing a rocky period as of late, with hints of a very lengthy delay for Star Wars Eclipse and years of accusations of a toxic work environment. However, it now seems like things are looking up for them, because NetEase is about to completely acquire the company for an undisclosed sum. And this also lends credence to the theory that Quantic Dream released the trailer of Eclipse to entice potential buyers. Well, in either case, it worked. And once the acquisition happens, we might hear more news about the upcoming game. I will keep you guys posted on any updates. And with that said, my dear friends, that brings us to the end of this Star Wars news update. If you enjoyed this one, you know what to do. Show me some love with a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and a huge welcome if you are. But I hope you all have an amazing day. May the Force be with you always. I'm Star Wars Meg. Have a good one.